Okay, one small video where I'm gonna tell you stuff when I'm painting. 2 in 1, okay? It's not like oh hello, only have my face telling you something, I'm talking about something. No, here this time gonna share stuff, okay, sure, but not only. So first of all, yeah, I'm gonna talk about a lot of stuff. I don't even want to choose the subject. First, okay, the method of painting maybe. Like, I don't even know if there is a method. I have like a very sounds so cliche what I'm gonna say. So I almost apologize in advance because it's like almost a shamanic way of painting. As the same as when I'm writing book, I'm like, I wait to feel something, then I do it frantically. I do it with such a crazy emotion. So like, could not be more cliche, you know, like you have your French guy, he writes, he paints, okay, like, and then he share you maybe stories with women, it's gonna be like, ooh la la, until, what am I talking? No, I don't wanna talk about baguettes. I wanna talk about painting, my method when I'm painting. So I almost wish I had a method, because some people with patience and a technique do very great things, quite amazing. Me, I am the type of guy to just be, and that's my flaw at the same time as it is a good thing in me. It's like I just like too many things. Maybe as like a child, like childlike. I would feel so sad if you had to do only one thing, mostly because what? Because the market wants it, because you should specialize or whatever. No. So I have a master-in-law, yes, not related at all. And even during these law studies, I had no idea what to do. And I was almost proud of it. Like, I'm like, it would be so sad to know exactly what to do for the next 40, 50 years. But then if people knew it, I was like, wow, how did you do? Can you teach me to know what I want? And then the guy's just gonna tell me what I should want. So I'm like, no, actually, don't teach me. So it started like this. And then year after year in the French educational system, I just realized that, just realized that you got to specialize. Like, when you specialize and specialize and specialize, and I hope I'm not gonna do this in art as well. Like, I'm enjoying not knowing what I'm gonna paint and not even knowing the style I'm gonna paint it with. So if I feel like trying something kind of cubism, I can do it. But if I feel doing like something like a big mindfuck, I'm gonna do it as well. So this is a simple painting, like acrylic painting. The first done on many layers of acrylic colors. Then I continued with the fingers. Okay, another one, only oil painting, is that one. And it's like, woof, it's mindfuck. Like, no, Jesus got crucified. Yeah, but Spartacus got crucified too. So they start talking about the laughing Buddha. Crucified? And how can he still laugh? So that was the point of the painting. To still make him laugh despite being crucified. And in some ways I managed to combine the spirituality of the West, the reminding of suffering, goes a lot through the Jesus Christ figure, with the living in the moment, I want to laugh type of thing that you find sometimes in the East, even if the kind of serious Buddha, not the laughing one, but the normal one, the chill one, the Zen one you mostly see, is always like life is suffering, life is suffering. I'm okay to listen to this stuff. I'm like, I have no religion, but I love listening to different things, like how people see this in the West, in the East. I don't know why I love it. I find it so colorful, interesting. Like, Also, you can see I like imagination, so I listen to a priest the same way I would listen to a kid with a very fantastic story. The only thing is like one has respectability while the other is like, ah, so cute. Yeah, you're a kid, whatever, it's imagination. So you don't take one seriously while you take the other one so seriously that you can go even on your knees asking for some kind of blessing, or you will scratch your head like monks do in Thailand, for example, to give you some kind of benediction. And also sometimes the benediction are related to money, but anyway. And sometimes even more than the money for the food. It's not simple charity thing, it's just basic grit, the lucky money thing, the concept of a lucky money all the time. Like, yo, okay, cool, but there's not only this in life. Well, anyway, I saw at some point in a why did I saw it? Yeah, saw it in a documentary about Bob Ross, but I don't think I'm gonna do landscape, or maybe I'm gonna do landscape. I don't know. I'm gonna play. I've seen this technique of like making the painting wet first, and then doing oil painting on it. That one I just made it wet, and then in the end I was like, I'm just gonna go acrylic then, and it was kind of more relevant. So this time it's gonna be weird because for me, I'm gonna confess you something. By oil painting, I thought it was like with cooking oil. I didn't know, so I'm just gonna still use cooking oil, but like I would say a healthy one, coconut oil. So it's good for cooking like with your eggs and everything. And I don't know, like some people hate the smell. I just love it. Yeah, it's good. Okay, cool. So ironically, I will use cooking oil that way. I'm like, well, why not? Huh? Okay. So some cooking oil here in this small bowl. Okay, get it. Wide up. I guess it dries slower, or too slower maybe. Like I'm like, why not? I'm like, I don't. Maybe there's a giant difference. That's why, in some ways, I love being ignorant in the art world. So I find it also snobbish, fancy. Like, you have no taste, you don't understand everything. But I'm like showing off to be knowledgeable in something, and I've seen it a lot in the law school. Turns ugly most of the time, even if the person thinks he's smart. So in that case, I enjoy being dumb and to discover things, experience after experiences. And I just have so many paintings. There's one, an abstract one, not like this laughing Buddha, it's fine, that I've done oil after some. I did some pastel and then oil. There's this one, the Krishna playing the flute, but I gave him a forearm, sorry, to what? Oh, it got fun. Apparently, I heard he got 16,000 girlfriends, lucky him. So I'm like, yeah, man. Cheers, good man, good job. So that's my way to pay tribute to spirituality. Also, I'm kind of tired of the vibe of life is always only suffering. It's like, yes it is. Like, as an example, I'm gonna share to you now, I lost an uncle I loved a lot, and I think ironically, almost, yeah, like the uncle who was the closest to me, even if he was not my uncle, was the husband of my auntie. And yesterday I spent the whole day very sad, and today I am sometimes, but I'm like, yo, come on, like life is still enjoyable. Why? Because when I think of him, I think of his laugh. His laugh was like so communicative, so I was almost happy to find stories that would make him laugh. And what I regret the most is like I'm not at all in France to see him, to say some funny stories to him. I actually was very close, sometimes I'm still am, to be a super mega loser. It's weird to say, but like it's been terrible sometimes the way the way I got to deal with money and job hunting, the feeling. And specifically in these times of COVID, I've turned very crazy. But out of this craziness, I painted, and I enjoy myself to do so. And so that was this is the good news out of it. But ironically, I really don't have this hippie vibe. I came from a law school, you know. So my uncle was very proud of me when I was doing great in the law school. For example, I was like the fourth one or fifth one in the class of like 300 people, which was like not bad at all, because I was still doing a lot of karate, also a lot of sport still. But despite this, I was still studying well and attending every classes. So you would think almost I would become a good lawyer or someone working in the French administration. So it was like, wow, great. Then I traveled the world, and after the studies, like on low budget and everything. So of course you turn like this low budget backpacker thing, and you really, like, you want it or not, you look so hippie, you know, let's be honest. And you just talk of experiences beyond like building a career, beyond like, yeah, for sure, like the thirst for traveling the world, for seeing the world became so important. It indeed is good, okay, but up to completely forget like the families, the family members who may be like wondering what you're doing and everything. It's tricky, you know. And what I've noticed is that my uncle almost like they usually send me money like $200, sometimes luckily $300, a euro, sorry, for like Christmas or my birthday or whatever. And sometimes I have to be honest, when I was so broke, turning around, you know, like just waiting, like for example, the digital nomad thing became a big thing when I was traveling. I was like obsessed with online money and everything. So I met some so-called digital nomad who were like doing sketchy businesses. That's a long story, but like it was like making cold calls, like kind of harassing customers in some ways. But well, I get it, you know. But like try to sell them Google advertising packages and everything. And I was like obsessed with the guy I've met who was doing this, hosting me, and feeling like, wow, okay, I can learn from him. Like I can do it too. And thinking so much I could do it. I was just not having. I was actually just spending money, like by basic living, and having almost no money left. Like. Hoping that it happened for a reason, type of hippie thoughts that I was surprised to have, that in the end I was just hoping for nothing, spending that money like this. So he was like telling me to live with some responsibility at some point, because I was not a kid anymore. And then I started having resentment, not resentment, but like a will to rebel against this way of life, the too conformist way of life, that like, yeah, just because I'm not boring, it doesn't mean I'm not serious, so I'm still serious, but in the funny way. So like, I became a cliche of myself as the traveler who refuses to stop traveling in the name of, like, sometimes you just get to stop traveling to work, you know, right? And then I wanted to stop traveling to work anyway, and the work was not easy to find. So I went sometimes to job interviews. I've been told that if you behave correctly and everything, they just go back to reply to you. Even if it's a no, at least they reply to you and everything. It was not even the case. So then I was like, how do they dare smiling at my face when they don't even reply me a no or whatever, like pretending to be genuinely interested? I was like, kind of welcome to the world, like most people, they never, like the first morality ever, I really believe, for men and women, for everyone, for each human being, is kind of to do what you say you will do. I repeat, to do what you say you will do. And if you just don't even do that, it's like, you get so surprised, and then like not you, maybe you get involved in the promises of others who just give themselves a specific style, who like can't. That's what I noticed the most. People, they can't lose a face. It's a pride thing. And so I stupidly started like following people, thinking they would have some of my values or something like this. And actually, then I was like, yeah, but by just following them, I don't have a crazy values myself, you know. So yeah, to rely on others is a very tricky thing. Like I hate this. I'm gonna give you advice vibes. Like I know it all now. Listen to me. You are lost, but don't worry. You can listen to me. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Where are we saying this? You know, so yeah. Then I've been lucky. I managed very strange ways to make money. I was surprised myself it would work. And then again, now in the good way it worked, but I was almost angry such a way could work, because I was like, wow, okay, so that's what we should do to make money, huh? Lying about who we really are and like pretending, adapting to human natures, like saying they're kind of always right, even if it's despicable what they're asking or whatever. No way. So I felt like this as well. And that's in that case what was hard to accept. At least I got no money to ask from my uncle, for example. And I didn't ask it, just got to give to me, but I never asked him giving it to me. And now anyway, all this time wondering this, fighting for it, like, am I keeping a good situation? Or am I losing the face for some kind of employees doing nonsense? Or am I doing some kind of bullshit businesses that work, but being angry at the way it can work? Or am I begging for jobs when I should not beg now? Or and so on and so on. Or I should travel more, stop begging or whatever. And then, yeah, but who am I meeting? Like, doing what you love, one thing, okay. Volunteering in nonsense places. And all that in the end, for what? For what? Realizing time flies. And it flies everywhere in the world, not only in your small little life where you want to keep the ego thing, the money thing in one hand, or discovering like you've found a way maybe, but not the way that could have made some uncle, parents, family members proud, to almost rebel, fight against what they wanted you to become. Like, no way, why should I be this? Why do they want this for me? They are not my friends after all. And so on, and so on. To then realize still, no matter what, time flies. Up to your uncle having a fast cancer and dying out of it. And then you're like, I didn't even manage to go back to my country to spend some time with him, you know. So it's been 3 years I haven't seen him. Then I got the news he got the cancer. Then in this COVID times, you know, of course, quarantine, like everything, all this vaccine regulation thing, you don't even know what exactly you can do and all. All of this for what? For noticing that you wanted to finally visit him on your own, having the money, like, okay, look, see, I'm not a child, as you said. All of this to me. To then understand it was all about them too. It was never all about you, no, never. And that health became the most important thing, while for you, at some point, money was the most important thing. And that one passed away while you were complaining in good health. and then you kind of feel stupid about yourself. You were planning almost to visit one, like this uncle, that in the end just could not visit.